back at Uihlein Soccer Park in Milwaukee, Wisconsin. It is feeling hot, hot, hot. 87 degrees our game time temperature. A look at the starting 11 for the Madison West Regents from the Big 8 Conference. This is a team that has seen 13 different goal scorers, 15 who have recorded points. And leading the way is Nola Mon, who has come to the state tournament with 19 goals, 8 assists. Madison West had 16-2-3, unbeaten over their last 10. Taking on a Muskego Warriors team out of the Classic 8 Conference at 20-0-2, unbeaten over their last 43. They have seen 13 different goal scorers, 17 that have recorded points, and it starts with Jess Furnow, who has come through at least prior to the state tournament with 16 goals and 9 assists.
Matt, Muskego is undefeated, which is just an amazing accomplishment, but along with being undefeated comes a lot of pressure, and we'll see how they handle that pressure today in the heat.
The Warriors coming off a 3-0 shutout victory in semifinal play on Thursday, a rematch of last year's D1 championship matchup against the Kimberly Papermakers, in which the Warriors came out and scored a couple of times in the opening 40. They have not suffered defeat since April 9th of 2024 when they lost 4-3 at Arrowhead, a team that was here at state. The Warhawks at state for the first time since 2000, but Madison West able to overcome a 2-goal deficit and eventually overcame a deficit in the shootout. Overcame a 48-minute weather delay. Again, it lasted about 3 hours and 20 minutes. And Madison West knocking off Arrowhead in a shootout that ended up going the distance. Boy, did it. But what a victory there for Madison West. Goes down to the tie for stat-keeping purposes. But it was a 6-5 decision in 7 rounds.
Matt, if you're the Madison West Regents, got to be careful to not let Muskego get on the board early. Their defense has been so phenomenal all year. It's going to be hard to come back. You're going to want to stay strong from the beginning, possess the ball, work it around, make Muskego's defense work, really spread them out, ease themselves into the game. If you're the Muskego Warriors, you want to jump out to that lead. Your defense has been so tough all year. You know that you can depend on them.
Great possession by Muskego on Thursday. Madison West, a team that takes great pride in their passing ability and possession, but they found themselves on their heels quite a bit throughout the course of that semifinal before eventually, again, finding that comeback ability, and that's been a big part of what they've been able to do all season long, that resilience. A lot of grit, being aggressive. Outshot 12-8 by the Warhawks in that semi.
And Muskego is going to be relentless. They're undefeated for a reason. So for Madison West, that resilience is going to be key. Being able to just hang in there, it's not going to be easy. This is going to be a tough game, and you add in the heat and the wind and all those elements. Being here at the state tournament and the championship game, that's a big hill to climb. But the Regents have shown they're able to accomplish great things.
We'll talk more about the weather as we go along, because again, it's going to be a big storyline throughout the course of this championship Saturday. On top of the heat, you have the wind that could exceed 40 miles per hour.
And not to mention the turf, too. That adds an element of that heat. It retains that heat, so it's even hotter down there in the field. So thankfully, there is that wind and that breeze that makes it feel a little cooler anyway.
Saw a pass a second ago from Addie Iverson, heck of a defender, back to only a sophomore for Madison West, and also can factor into the attack for the Regents. They've been able to score 76 times this season, a total of 15 in postseason play. There is the flag talking about the wind factor, and right now the wind gusts at about 32, but again, expected to pick up as the day progresses.
Matt, I think that wind is coming from the bench areas, the technical areas, all the way over to the stands across the field.
Yeah, it appears that no one's got an advantage by any stretch of imagination. Off the one-touch pass that comes from Bella Middlestat. Down the outside with Nora Augustine.
Nice turn by Nora Augustine, switching fields with it.
Good pressure backside from Iverson. And back up that left wing. Abby Artlett, very pesky as well, a junior forward, number 3 on the team in scoring. This portion of the 2025 WIAA Girls Soccer Championship is brought to you by Menards.
Perfect example there, Matt, of that wind. You got to know which way it's blowing. So you play a ball across the field, the wind takes it, blows it right out of bounds. When you're kicking into it, you want to keep that ball low. It's going to matter and factor into the crosses during the game, too, out in front of the goal.
Pass goes to the feet there of Ada Minicote. Top three in scoring for Madison West, but a takeaway here for Riley Krupa, the senior defender. Ball rolls out for a throw here for the Muskego Warriors, one of 3 teams in the Classic 8 Conference qualify for state.
That's one of the, we've been talking about their defense so far. That's a perfect example. Just strong on the ball, strong individual defending, turns it outside. We're heading the other direction.
You mentioned that they've only allowed 7 goals all year, only 1 so far here in postseason play. That was a 9-1 victory against Milwaukee Ronald Reagan in the regional final round of competition. They will come through with their 16th shutout with that result on Thursday.
We love the patience from both teams, being willing to drop it back, to keep that possession, spread the width of the field. It's going to bode well for the rest of this game.
Throwing here from Madison West, that with Saffron Zahorik Schultz, named the second team all-conference selection this spring in the Big 8 Conference, a conference won by Middleton. Madison West finishing right behind him, second place Verona, a top 3 finish here. Up that right side with Ari Cotney. She came through with the game-winning goal in their sectional final, knocking off Oregon. It came off a corner kick. That was a 2-1 result, which was 2-1 at halftime. Mia Ozan, great talent as well for Madison West. This ball rolls out of play and a throw coming up for the Warriors. That for Autumn Dibb. Out of the back here from Madison West is Shiloh Ozan. Only a sophomore on that back line for the Regents. Another defense has been strong. Also, again, they've shown the ability. We saw it firsthand Thursday. They can give up a goal or 2 and certainly have the offensive firepower to overcome that deficit.
But they also haven't faced Muskego yet this year, so that's going to be a tough. It's going to be a tall order. So I think if you're the Regents, you got to make sure you stay level.
The Warriors finishing number 2 in the final D1 state rankings behind DSHA. Those two are going back and forth throughout the course of the season. Madison West finishing number 7 in the final top 10 in D1. With Bella Middlestat as she goes down. Ball sent upfield by Ozan. And a run being made there by Ada Minicote. Another throw coming up for the Warriors. Muskego back at state for the 10th time, a 4th consecutive state appearance. They've been a state all those appearances since 2014. It began with Eric Hess, and Lance Matthews has since taken over. He's done a great job, this being his 8th year as the head coach, but 14th year with the program. And now it's going to make some history with a 4th consecutive state championship. That's been done only twice previous. At Brookfield Central, once upon a time, they will rattle off 4 consecutive Division I titles. They were able to do that from 2002 through 2005. And hereafter, Catholic Memorial won 6 consecutive state championships between Division II and Division III from 2012 through 2017.
You think about some of those records, Matt, and what Coach Matthews has been able to do at Muskego, and it's just mind-boggling. It is so difficult to get here, and yet to do it year after year and to reach the championship game year after year and to be successful, that just says a whole lot, not just about coaching, but culture and obviously your players and what they're willing to sacrifice and put into being successful on the soccer field.
He'll be the first to tell you, though, that the foundation laid down by Eric Hess. Eric Hess then turned over the keys, and for Coach Matthews, found a way to carry on the tradition. And certainly quite a tradition right now for the Warriors.
And in some of these communities, too, it's one of those things where if you're known for girls soccer or whatever it happens to be, is those young kids grow up, and that's what they want to do. They want to be a part of that success, part of that program.
along this near side with Ozan. Good pressure. You had Bella Middlestat throwing coming up. And for Jess Furnow. Furnow, Ball State bound. A lot of experience. Obviously, both these teams have been played on Thursday. That helps, but when you look at the Warriors lineup, a bunch of experience back from last year's team was able to bring home a state championship. Last year, they knocked off Brookfield East in the semis before overcoming a 1-goal deficit at halftime to knock off Kimberly. That's the way the state tournament ended last year, the D1 championship game to the night game. Go figure. This version of the state tournament began with Muskego against Kimberly, but in the semifinal.
And Matt, that being a repeat champion, it's a good thing, that experience, they've been there, done that. But I think it also what comes with it is a trap of, hey, we have been there and done that. And maybe you don't realize, but you think, hey, we got this, not a problem. And maybe there's just not quite that edge. And so the fact that they have done this 3 times in a row, they're looking to do it 4 times in a row, it's just amazing in and of itself.
Look there at Ada Lambeck, the starting goalkeeper for Madison West, a 5'10 senior. Named all continental mention this spring. And Lambeck with that goals against average well below 1.
It's easy to forget all that hard work you put in to get to that top of the mountain. And sometimes you think, yeah, I'm working just as hard, and you aren't. So the fact that they're back here and looking for another championship is pretty amazing.
The updated numbers for Lambeck. Bree Scaife has subbed in for Muskego. And so flip-flopping spots on the field with Bella Middlestate, who now dropped to the far side. Throwing here for Autumn Dibb. Right back near side is going to bounce out. On this near side for Madison West is Elsie Watson. She played awfully well on Thursday. She's had a good year or two and be named an honorable mention in the Big 8 Conference. Augustine, right back with Jess Furnow.
I think Augustine has shown she's a player that Madison West needs to pay attention to. Good with the ball at her feet, strong with the ball at her feet. They need to have a defender on her back at all times.
Came up big last year in the semis at state with 1 goal and 1 assist against Brookfield East. Will bounce the direction of Lambeck.
Haven't had either team really take control of this game yet. Muskego, the Warriors, they have been the most attack-minded so far, and they've gotten that Madison West defense stretched out a little bit. The Regents need to be careful that they don't allow the Warrior attackers to get into those seams.
Middlestat will see this ball roll on a play for a goal kick here for the Regents. Number 3 seed among the 4 to qualify for state in Division 1. They're back in state for the 13th time. That's 6th most among WIAA members. It's their first appearance since 2016. That year, they tied Eau Claire Memorial in a semifinal and advanced in a shootout before they lost in the championship to DSHA 1-0. They've had 5 titles, none since 2012, and a couple of runner-up finishes, with that most recent coming in 2016.
Madison West got to be careful down there in the box to look for an opportunity. We had a defender, a Regent defender on the back of a Muskego attacker, and I thought the Muskego attacker was about to fall over.
And a piece of it did Ada Minico-Lecoq. Now they're throwing here for the Muskego Warriors. Now the 5 titles that have been won by Madison West, good for fourth most among girls soccer programs in WIAA girls soccer state history. Winning in 88, 91, 99, 2000, and 2012. Ada Minico-Lecoq getting back. Elsa Maurer. Those two both go down. An attempt here is going to fly over for Kat Arnold, who is UW lacrosse bound. 5'5", senior in the midfield for the Regents.
Nice counterattack by the Regents, catching the Warriors on their heels. But as we said at the beginning of this game, the defense of the Warriors, difference makers. Elsa Maurer tracks down the attacker, manages to turn the ball outside. Danger averted.
Arnold coming through with the equalizer. Tying the game at 2 before a weather delay, before the overtime started on Thursday. Able to score off a corner kick in the 76th minute. That was knocked away there with Gabi Rotana. Marquette bound is the junior midfielder. And a free kick coming up here for Madison West. And drawing lots of attention does Ada Midiko-Lecoq. And this portion of the 2025 WIAA Girls Soccer Championships are brought to you by Wisconsin DOT.
That's one of those fouls by Autumn Dibb. It's just unnecessary. And you put your defense in a little bit of a difficult situation. You got a set piece, you got a free ball, free cross coming in. You get those scrambles and anything can happen.
Well, you got to adjust to that wind too. You're one of these teams with an advantage with the wind blowing across the field, but you can see on that corner kick with Arnold, it started to go toward the goal and all of a sudden took a wicked curve, got in the jet stream and was batted to the near side.
Yeah, just killed it. Didn't give any of her teammates an opportunity. So you really they'll adjust during this first half. See if they can figure it out.
So you think by the end of the day we can call it, both of ourselves meteorologists, with all the weather we're going to be talking about here throughout the course of these 4 days?
I would think so.
Our 4 games, Arnold fires. That's lifted over. And Savannah Middlestat, the goalkeeper for Muskego. But again, weather's going to be a big story now, kicking into the win on this corner kick for Madison West. And again, we'll be talking about it all day long in these 4 championship games. But watch this look one more time.
Savannah Middlestat has learned in these first opening minutes, she's got to be ready. Kat Arnold will pull from 25, 30 yards out.
So right into the wind. Madison West, 7 corner kicks on Thursday. Not much developing here. Trying to come back toward the ball. Elsie Watson picked up there by Savannah Middlestat, who is eventually going to head the route of DePaul. 5'10 junior, and again, the state experience last year. Semis, 2 goals allowed, 8 saves in the championship game last year. 1 goal allowed and 5 saves in taking down Kimberly.
Nice to have an experienced keeper like that in a big game like this. That corner kick by the Regents, good example, trying to drive it. You want to drive it low anyway, but against this wind, really low.
Talk about weather. Here's our first hydration break. And again, with the temperatures expected to be in the 90s, feels like in the hundreds. Well, we have a hydration break as we are scoreless here in this D1 championship matchup. We'll continue with more in a moment here from Milwaukee. Back in Milwaukee, a corner kick here for the Muskego Warriors. D1 championship matchup with the 42nd WIAA Girls Soccer State Tournament. Kicking off championship Saturday with our first hydration break. Typically, a hotter day, we'll see a hydration break per half, about halfway through. And again, with extreme heat expected today, a couple of hydration breaks per half. Around the 15 and 30th minute marks of this first half. An opportunity off the header for Bree Skate.
Nice job by Bree Skate. Putting that ball back where it came from. That was an important moment in the game for the Madison West Regents, making sure that Muskego, with the corner kick, with the wind at their back, the ball's going to go far post, that they didn't give up a goal on that set piece.
7-0 Muskego on corner kicks in their semifinal on Thursday. The corner kick taken by Jess Furnow. She's made up for lost time after missing last season with injury. Ashlyn Sauer, the junior defender, seen it deflect out, thrown again for Muskego here in the 17th minute. Then it back out of play. Jump of the pass did Mia Ozan.
What we've seen so far from the Muskego Warriors is their defenders not being afraid to get up the field and be a part of that attack. Maurer scored a goal in their semifinal victory. She's an outside defender. Getting upfield, really giving the Warriors the width that they need to send balls into the box.
Maurer, a big difference maker on Thursday. The 1 goal, the 1 assist, taking 3 shots, 1 of which on goal. Gonna leave it near side for Watson. The roll out of play to throw in again for the Warriors. The team that brought back 17 players, 8 starters from last year's championship team. There's still about 2 or 3 players. You look at this roster that were part of this team going all the way back to when they won their first of what is a three-peat. Going back to 2022, so a rare opportunity to make it 4 for 4.
It reminds me of those Catholic Memorial days that you mentioned before, where you've had players who have been state champions, 2, 3 times, and here they are as seniors looking for that 3rd or 4th state championship. That's pretty crazy.
Throw coming up here for Riley Krupa. Right now, you have Nora Augustine in the box for the Warriors. Boy, think of some of the names that have come through this program, and they lost some key components, but for the most part, again, good core back from 2024, and again, the Warriors able to run the table. As we take a look at the road to state presented by Royal Mutual for Madison West, look at their team resume out of the Big 8 Conference. It will come through with victories in the postseason against Madison East, Kettle Moraine, Middleton, and Oregon, and qualifying for state for the first time in 9 seasons.
Matt, did you see how close those games were? 3-2, 2-1, 2-1.
Those are games, 1-goal games.
Those are games that can go either way. And so we talked about Madison West being opportunistic. They've got a great opportunity. They were down in their semifinal to Arrowhead. Arrowhead was up, needed 1 penalty kick to win the game, and didn't get it. And Madison West capitalized on it.
It's the region's team that hasn't lost a game since back on May 8th against Middleton.
They've got a good roll going, and now they've got an opportunity to be state champions.
Lowering that shoulder. Ada Middle-Lacoke. Going to be a throw in here off this hit. Incoming. And knocking out Autumn Dibb.
It was sort of shoulder to shoulder.
The officials sporting the green. Now this Saturday of David Irwin out of Oshkosh, the head referee, with Mariel Bonesack out of Oshkosh and Aaron Chantal out of South Milwaukee, the 2 ARs. Augustine head off for the Warriors. Back in is Abby Artlip, head coach Lance Matthews.
It's going to be interesting to see how these coaches handle substitutions. If they're going to be rotating players more, if they're going to be playing some other players that maybe don't see that much field time, if they're going to expand, that bench a little bit. Just be interesting to see how each team plays it. Maybe the second half is going to be different. The first half, hopefully both teams are good, but once you get into that second half with the heat and the wind, if that's going to change their strategy at all.
Out of the back with Mia Ozan. Named first team all-conference in the Big 8 Conference this spring. Into the play backfield with Noah Mon. A second teamer. He went back to that sectional final last week in which Madison West will build a lead by halftime. The scoring started by Ada Middle-Lacoke. It was the region's first sectional final appearance since 2021 when they lost to another team out of the Classic 8. It seems like they run in all kinds of Classic 8 Conference competition, but in that year, fell against the Kettle Moraine Lasers 3-0.
Think about how nerve-wracking their last 3 playoff games were. Actually, their last 4, their semifinal too, right? That regional final, 3-2 over Kettle Moraine. Then those sectional games, 2-1 over Middleton, 2-1 over Oregon. And then that semifinal state semi against Arrowhead, 3-3. Just nail-biters.
Eric, you see that collision? It was the same 2 going back at it with Autumn Dibb for Muskego against Ada Middle-Lacoke. Foul that time, though, going against Dibb.
Well, Dave Irwin, our center official, he's going to have to keep an eye on that. See if there's anything brewing there.
Back to the outside with Ella McNamer. Sent out for a throw in here again for the Regents. Over comes Addie Iverson.
And I think in this heat, too, the temptation for a player is to, like, pace yourself a little bit. Like Maurer turned that ball outside for Muskego, and she had 0 options. All her teammates were just standing and watching her instead of getting themselves into position. And sometimes when you have heat like this, that can be one of the results, is people aren't taking that extra step, making that extra run.
Heel pass instead for Watson, coming the other way. And we talk about the heat, and it certainly is extremely hot. But now think about the heat coming off that turf as well. You have to equate for. As we take a look there at Sagan Pizengrilli, head coach for Madison West, back after serving as an assistant coach for the program from 2013 through 2022, then became the head coach in 2023. Moved out of the state for a year, has come back as the head coach. Also excited about watching these players grow throughout the years, but also excited to come back and be with these seniors for one final year, a group of 7 that have helped the Regions get back to state the first time since 2016.
I wonder what kind of material that coat is that he's wearing. I hope it's breathable. He's got to be sweating in that thing.
Got the hair. This is a team that very festive. They brought the beads, the blue and gold beads, the pom-poms. It was a festive atmosphere in the stands on Thursday. I was mentioning they love to spray dye their hair, wear glitter. The school spirit. They brought it on Thursday, bring it back here for Championship Saturday. The Warriors play it back. Dib. Foul back around midfield, and the yellow card's been given out here. We were talking about that matchup. It's been back and forth with Dib against Ada Minnicol-Lecoq. And now Dib giving a yellow card off that battle with Minnicol-Lecoq. And the yellow card booked here in the 25th.
That was Dib's second foul in a row. That's one of those, that's a tough one too. Because the Regent player came in a little late, Dib plays the ball out, and then she reacts to that. And she ends up getting the yellow card.
Nice job there by Ella Canzora, slowing down the Madison West attack. Arnold, look out. Deflecting off Watson. Arnold with Augustine back on the field here for the Warriors. Mon. Deflected right back toward midfield. So hold it in. Shiloh Ozan. Off the pass from Zahoric Schultz. Watson. And the offside flag up. And against the Regents.
Madison West has got Muskego on their heels a little bit. You saw Muskego's defense scrambling there. Just looking to clear the ball out so they can reset.
Thus far, shots are at 2-1 in favor of Madison West. We're going to back up. Elsa Mauer, future Butler Bulldog. And her pathway is Ada Minnicol-Lecoq. Sent right back. Minnicol-Lecoq controlling for the Regents on the centering feed. We'll get a touch on it. You had Gabi Ratana, very active on both ends of the field on Thursday. Pass from Arnold, well, too much on it, and we picked up here by Savannah Middle Stands.
Nice shot by Ratana. Tough ball for her to handle, but just automatically thinking diagonal forward. Hopefully one of her teammates is running through. Didn't work out that time, but the Regents have been very aggressive up front.
Pressure from Bree Scaife. Ozan. The time here for Zahoric Schultz. A touch on it did Minnicol-Lecoq. On that far side again with Ellie McNamer. Back out of the field for Madison West is now Lila Dean. Dean is going to come in and take the spot of Watson. We wait the throw in here from Addie Iverson. We're looking at the resume for Madison West earlier here in the first half. And again, 16 victories, a couple of defeats, 3 ties all year. The 2 losses coming against Germantown and against Middleton. Germantown, a much improved team this season. Heck of a run as the Warhawks, they will knock off Madison West 4-1 back on May the 3rd. 50 move for now. She'll fire. And for the Regents, there are 3 ties. Against Wanakee, against Arrowhead, and against Arrowhead as they play the Warhawks in Heartland back on May the 16th before the tie on Thursday. Here to look from Jess Furnow.
She had a good look at it, just got underneath it a little bit, leaned back a little bit, popped it over.
This portion of the 2025 WIAA Girls Soccer Championship is brought to you by Rural Mutual Insurance.
There's that combination of the wind and the turf, that ball. Nice little pass to the outside, just ends up rolling way too fast for anybody to catch up to it.
Ratana ahead with Minico Lecoq. Again, talking about Coach Pizzangrilli, felt this team incredibly talented passing possession team. Seen that possession. The first half has gone on, but a couple of nice runs too from Muskego. Artlip taken back away. And swung forward off the right cleat there with Josie Canzora.
I think if you're Coach Pizzangrilli, you got to be pretty happy with the way your Regents have played so far.
Again, right here with Josie Canzora, leaving it back to elude. Boy, some great energy being shown there by Abby. That by Lila Dean. Ashlyn Sauer. Furnow up that left side. Knocked away by Iverson, who on the second effort able to clear it. Sauer running it down for the Warriors. And one of 2 teams that will be featured here out of the Classic 8 Conference on Championship Saturday. We'll see Catholic Memorial a little bit later on. The Battle of the Crusaders. That in Division 3 at 4:30 between Catholic Memorial and Edgewood. Over on this pass, Artlip going to use this outside against the Horik Schultz to the end line, knocked out of play. And before this corner kick, another hydration break coming here in the 30th minute. Scoreless in this D1 championship matchup between Madison West and Muskego. And the Warriors looking for a 4-peat. Madison West looking for their first title since 2012. The 2025 WAA Girls Soccer Championships are brought to you statewide in part by the Wisconsin Department of Transportation, Rural Mutual Insurance Company, premiums paid here, stay here, and Menards. Save big money at Menards. Alongside Eric Shazer, Matt Menzel at Uihlein Soccer Park in Milwaukee, our crew as well, doing a great job of sights and sound. AAA Soccer State Tournament as we look at Muskego Warriors road position Rural Mutual in the Classic 8 Conference. Beaten, they knocked off for team Technology Milwaukee. Milwaukee, Ronald Reagan, Franklin, Whitebridge Bay make a move up from 2 to Division 1, and then the semifinal victory against Thursday.
Difference between Muskego Road championship game and Madison West Road. Muskego business without much of a problem. Madison West, it was a struggle. So for the Regents, they're hoping that comes in handy here in a tight state championship game. That experience they've had over their last do or die, right? These you lose and you're done games. they've managed to get through.
How about the fact that both of these teams had to get through, in the case of Muskego, Whitefish Bay, in the case of Madison West, Oregon, in sectional final play. A couple of teams that we've seen play each other the last 3 years for Division II Golden Ball, that being Oregon and Whitefish Bay. In fact, this being the first time that either Whitefish Bay and or Oregon not in the Division II final since 2014.
That's what makes getting to the state tournament and winning those state championships so amazing.
Augustine had it blocked. Held off for Nola Mon, following the Warriors' corner kick coming off the final hydration break of this first half.
Because what you just said, Matt, look at those heavyweights that both these teams had to go through just to get to this game. And that just happens every year. And the fact that, you know, both teams, how many times they have been here over the years, it's just a testament to the players and the coaches and the work that they've put in.
Back in is Bella Middlestat Fort Muskego. Minnesota State bound. Taking the spot, Bree Scaife. The outside with Zahoric Schultz now on that right side for Madison West.
There's that defense we talked about. Taking the ball out the foot of the attacker, and all of a sudden, bam, Muskego's into the attack, into that, almost into that attacking third.
Josie Canzora breaks out, trying to fake out Dean. Nice move here with Jess Furnow. Fires, got redirected before being sent away. Ozan, that being Mia Ozan back there for Madison West. Headed out of play by Iverson, allowing the defense to drop back. Reset off this thrown by Furnow.
We can see how dangerous Jess Furnow is there on that little run. Didn't get the shot off she wanted. It got deflected, but that's why she's their top goal scorer.
Well, and mentioned earlier, as Furnow with possession will send it across. Really got batted into the box. Augustine! And brought in here by Landbeck. As Nora Augustine with the shot opportunity for the Warriors.
Nice ball across, low and into that wind, and Augustine gives it a ride just a little bit. Looking at that far netting, you always want to think when you're shooting about hitting that, like on these goals, you got the black posts in the back, those two in the back corner. You know, trying to not looking at the goalie, but finding that black post and making that your target.
And Furnow waits back. Watson back into the field for the Regions. I mentioned earlier, Furnow making up for lost time. Lost last year due to an ACL injury that occurred before the season. To come back stronger. And Coach Matthews said that she's put in incredible hard work, perseverance through the process. Ball's going to carry over that south goal. Off of Ratana. Well, Furnow, okay, go back a couple of years ago in 2023. Came through with an assist in the semis against Bayport. You watch Watson. Leaving that opportunity for Ratana. But Furnow also had a couple of assists in the 2023 championship matchup. A victory over fellow conference foe Kettle Moraine 3-1. And making up for lost time after a year off. Coming back last year, or a couple of days ago, and coming through with the final goal in that 3-0 victory against Kimberly. It is her 17th on the year. She had a couple of shots, one of which on target in that semifinal win. They love to have her out there and certainly has helped fill the void with some of the key components lost, including Anna Sikorsky. Now with Kentucky after winning a state championship freshman year with DSHA, 3 straight with Muskego. One of those players that can say, hey, 4 years of high school soccer, 4 golden balls.
That's why she's playing at Kentucky.
And playing. Making an impact for Troy Fabiano's Kentucky Wildcats.
You think of Jess Furnow, and as much as you hate that she had to take some time away because of an injury, that can also have a way of sort of recharging you and refreshing you, because you do get a little break. It's mentally difficult in a different way, but yet you get a little break from that, whereas these girls are playing so much soccer year-round almost. Sometimes a little breakaway can be a good thing. And like you said, she has come back stronger and even better than before. It's a testament to her and her willingness to put in the work.
Well, it's funny you bring that up because in talking with Coach Matthews this week and preparing for the state tournament, he said that's been one of the challenges for his team is the fact that you have so many players that come from different environments where maybe they're used to playing an entire game, now having to fight 4 minutes. So trying to find them minutes on the field sometimes has been a challenge for a Warriors team that's very talented top to bottom.
And not every player handles that, you know, well. Some understand and appreciate the competition and really take to that and realize that means I got to get better and I got to keep working. And others don't handle that well, that kind of challenge. And so it's a testament to Coach Matthews and the competitive atmosphere that he has on his team, that they all keep working and moving in that same direction and fighting for that same goal.
He had the luxury with the score being where it was at on Thursday to pretty much get everybody that could play out of the field for some length of time in that semifinal. Middlestat. And slowed up that time by Shiloh Ozan. And off the cleat of McNamer. So it rolls into the Muskego sideline area for a throw-in for Riley Krupa.
Madison West has done a good job of bending a little bit defensively. The Warriors from Muskego have been able to get into that final attacking third a little bit this half. But Madison West has managed to stifle all those attacks. They've bent, but not broken.
Furnow wants to stay with it for the Warriors.
Yeah, you definitely don't want Jess Furnow running onto the end of a ball. If you're the Regents, you got to make sure somebody comes up and gets on that. You don't want Furnow facing you with a head of steam going one-on-one.
Watson. And sent to the open field there from Ada Medicote-Lecoq. On the run now with Mon. Trying to get there, but he's going to pick up some speed and scooped up by Savannah Middlestat. The second-year starter replaced Ella Cradaville, who was the goalkeeper now at Eastern Illinois.
Nice job by Lecoq for Madison West, just playing that ball into some open space, knowing that her teammate was going to be running into that space. Her teammate was 20 yards away from that space, but she saw it, laid it out. Teammate comes running through it, and they're on the attack.
Furnow, as we near 3 minutes left here in this first half. Right back into the corner with Mia Ozan. We'll stay here with the Warriors. So on the throw here from Jess Furnow.
We were talking about that pass by Lecoq. That's just a soccer IQ thing, just seeing the field, and not every player has that. You know, some players just have that tunnel vision. They only see what's ahead of them. They don't see the whole field and the possibilities that are there.
Furnow on the cross. And sent away by Ada Medicote-Lecoq. We'll back out with Furnow. Ball in the hands of Josie Canzora. First, though, a change here for the Warriors. And a break for Sadie Middlestat. So out there right now with Elena Spader. Again, staying right here with Josie Canzora. Back that direction, and Watson able to keep it in bound for Madison West. Maurer, Middlestat, shoulder to shoulder there with Shiloh Ozan. Out it comes again with Latana. We'll push on the backside. Maurer able to get back. The push going to go against Nola Mon. A free kick here for the Warriors.
We talked about Muskego's defenders being an active part of that attack. There's a perfect example. Elsa Maurer up in the attack, in the box. They're not afraid to come forward, and that's what Madison West is looking to exploit.
Watson looking up feet. A short pass, back her route from Mon. And Watson will send it right back atop the 18. Overrunning the ball did Nicole Lecoq. Sent the mid. And waiting back again for the Regents is Shiloh Ozan. Iverson. Iverson with her speed. And whistle for the foul. Knocking down Josie Canzora as the final seconds tick away here in this first half. So we are scoreless at the break. Muskego, Madison West is the way the first half came to a close. Off the foul against Addie Iverson. Each team so far with 3 shots at the break. The Regents playing for their 6th state championship. Muskego looking for their 4th consecutive and their 5th overall. Stay tuned, the halftime report is coming up, but now a message from your local station. This is your WIAA network affiliate. Out of the second half we go here in Milwaukee on a very hot, humid, windy. Throw in another word, Eric.
Man, I'm just surprised. Despite those conditions you just described, you've been bringing the energy today, so I'm very impressed.
Great day to get a tan.
Maybe it's that cream soda.
So stay away from soda on a day like today. Find the Gatorade, the water,
it's not
hat,
that.
sunglasses, necessities. Some have brought umbrellas to shade themselves from the sun. So we're ready for the second half in this D1 championship matchup between the Madison West Regents out of the Big 8 Conference and the reigning three-peat D1 state champion Muskego Warriors out of the Classic 8. And both these teams went to the indoor complex during halftime. Air conditioned, go in there, again, relax a little bit, cool off, and now back out into the heat. And again, we will have a couple of hydration breaks implemented, which will come your way around the 55th and I would think the 70th minute marks.
Matter first half was pretty much a stalemate. I guess maybe Muskego, the Warriors, they get a little bit of an advantage in that first half, but Madison West did more than hold their own. It's going to be an interesting second half. We were talking about school spirit before. We got the Madison West, the Warriors. They got the school flag, the big W flag out. Ready to go. It's like the Cubs W flag for winning.
Which they have been flying quite a bit this year.
I've been
not so much
happy.
Next year.
I've been pretty
last
happy.
year.
Cubs have been doing okay, so I'm in a good place baseball-wise.
Well, this portion of the 2025 WIAA Girls Soccer Championship is brought to you by Menards. Again, the Warriors come out in the all-black, the all-white for Madison West. Regents looking for state championship number 6. Muskego looking for state championship number 5, and their 4th in a row.
These first few minutes should be pretty telling. See what strategic changes, tactical changes each coach made. What advice they gave their teams. What are they looking for? I think if you're Madison West and Coach Pizzangrilli, you really want to look for that counterattack. That's how they've had some success. You know, whenever Muskego is pushing, getting into that attacking third. If Madison West can get that ball, just get it up, get it out quick. They can catch that defense.
Here's Arnold against Augustine. You see Arnold not shy from a good distance, has that leg strength, that long shot ability.
I think the Regents have to keep that. Arnold showing us she was close on 2 long ones.
Flies across, he had Artlip in front.
Nice ball, playing it across the front of the goal. Just didn't have anybody on the end of it.
Came off the run there from Bella Middlestad. She came through with an assist in the semis last year. here at state for the Warriors.
I think if you're Coach Matthews, you got to be pretty happy with Bella Middlestadt there, playing a nice ball across, very dangerous ball. You just got to keep doing that. Eventually, you'll find a teammate on the end of it.
She started the scoring in the semifinal Thursday. Going here for Iverson.
We got time, Maddie.
Right now waiting as Watson tying her right cleat. Watson knocked away. Back there is Shiloh Ozan. Off the pass from Augustine. Artlip. Gonna find the angle. Kicked away in the box by Mia Ozan. Back toward midfield with Ada Medical-Lecoq. She has been a powerhouse according to Coach Pizengrilli this season. That be Medical-Lecoq. Has been injured. Has played limited games, minutes, but has still managed to be one of the team's top 3 leading scorers, creating many dangerous opportunities. He's nominated and selected as a first-team all-conference selection, a physical presence. Coach Pizengrilli said that this team notices, absolutely notices when she isn't on the field. The whole attack, press, overall physical matchup drops dramatically.
I think Lecoq had a good idea there. Her forwards weren't quite ready for it, but I think if you're Madison West, you got to look for those quick breaks. You can get one of your midfielders or defenders to control the ball and try and get that long ball. If your forwards are already on the move when that possession changes, like right here on that counterattack, into space.
Trying to hook up with Watson, who was splitting a couple. Savannah Middlestadt. One save in the opening 40. And a piece of it again. Ratana. Short pass over with Riley Krupa. Now that backside with Ari Cotney.
Nice job by Cotney on the back of the defender, not letting her turn.
Flag benefit from the Warriors. And I've beat over the last 43 at 37, 0-6. They've only lost 3 times over the last 4 seasons, all by a single goal. They lost early last season at Arrowhead by a 4-3 score. In 2023, lost at Brookfield East 1-0. Back in 2022, lost against New Berlin Eisenhower by a 2-1 score. The last time they failed to qualify for state, they lost in a sectional final against Kenosha Bradford in 2021. Furnow. Sent out of the box by Kat Arnold.
Muskego's been dangerous in the first half, and the beginning of the second half here, they just haven't been able to connect that final pass yet. It seems like it's just a matter of time. You're Madison West, you got to make sure these crosses don't keep coming.
Augustine sending it across. Artlip in front. Back out it comes. And look, that's going to bounce on in. A goal scored by Clara Mensch. And a 1-0 lead for the Muskego Warriors.
Nice half volley by Clara Mensch. Just outside the 18. Perfect spot for it.
So off the left cleat, comes here in the 45th. She had the game-winning goal in the championship game last year for the Warriors. Their comeback after being down a goal at the break to beat Kimberly 2-1. And scores the first of this championship match.
So Madison West to lock them down, not allow them to cross it, but they were letting it happen. You had a good clearance, but all of a sudden you got Mensch unmarked at the 18. That's what happens when you have those scramble plays in the box. So Madison West is going to have to figure out, close down those wingers, not let them play the ball across.
So Augustine getting back and slowing down Nola Mon. With a goal kick here for the Warriors, but goal number 7. And for Clara Mensch. Well, she's come through with some dramatic goals here in the last couple of years on Championship Saturday. That comes here in the 45th.
I was going to say, she may not score a lot of them, but the ones she does score matter.
Picks her moments. That comes off shot number 4 for the Warriors. Mensch. Here's Bella Middlestat. Using the outside to get around Shiloh Ozan. Addie Iverson commits the foul here for Madison West. Got in the pathway. And so a free kick here for Muskego.
Our center official, Dave Ernie, he was waiting to see how that play ended up. Nice move by Middlestat. She got tripped a little bit. He let it play on to see if there's going to be any advantage gained. Didn't come out, so it didn't happen, so he brought it back for the free kick.
Jess Furnow playing it wide. Augustine. You have Josie Canzora. Augustine. We'll see it roll out right back to Madison West.
See, that was good by Madison West. Their defenders not allowing Muskego to get their shoulder turned, their hips turned, face the goal, and get off a cross.
That goal being the 94th scored by the Warriors this season, the 31st they have scored in the postseason.
That's the staggering number.
Well, they're coming off this matchup 3 consecutive shutouts. 9 over the last 10 games. You know, the lone goal allowed during this recent stretch coming against Milwaukee, Ronald Reagan in the regional final. That was a 9-1 win for the Warriors.
Yeah, and a blowout victory. Well, that's what we said for Muskego. Their calling card all season has been defense, and they've managed to pick up the scoring lately. It's going to be a tough road to hoe for the Madison West Regents.
Foul against Zohoric Schultz. On the ball for the Warriors, Elsa Maurer. So a quick response at a halftime for the Warriors.
Again, into the wind.
Well, there's one thing we have learned about Madison West over the last couple of days and throughout the course of the season. They found themselves down in many games and find the ability to play comeback and find an answer. And with the resilience that they have shown, we saw that again on Thursday. Down a couple of goals and finding a way, and down a goal in overtime and finding a way yet again to tie things up. Found themselves down to the shootout. Found a way to take care of business.
Yeah, you mentioned resilience before. That's a big word for them. And so this game is far from over. There's a long way to go. Madison West has shown an ability to fight through adversity and to come back.
It's wild to think throughout the matchup on Thursday, the only lead they had one short lead in the shootout, and then they won the shootout. Otherwise, they were playing from behind all day long. And they find themselves down again, but Watson trying to change that. She goes down, and a foul atop the 18. Stoppage or an injury stoppage. Elsie Watson injured here for Madison West. To look at it one more time. Well, right there for the Warriors. I want to see that again. Ashlyn Schar was the closest Warrior.
She didn't get fouled. Looked like, I don't know if it was her ankle or her knee.
Yeah. But she tried to put the brakes on.
Yeah, it looked like
that right knee.
She hyperextended it or something when she planted there.
And again, quickly, David Irwin came flying in, stopping the clock. So apparently no foul, but simply an injury stoppage here.
Yeah.
And so the coaching staff out to check on Elsie Watson, who has had a great senior season. And we'll get back up and walk on her own power back toward the Regents sideline.
That's a good sign. Sometimes those things are more scary than anything. That's what it. Yeah, she plants on that right foot, and it looks like she just hyperextends it right there. Probably just, obviously it hurt, but it probably scared her too.
Madison West, they've had a stretch, according to their coach, Sagan Pizengrilli, where in the middle of the season, 3 to 4 of the key players all injured at the same time. Even at a game where all 3 captains had to sit. So it's been a journey in that way. We're trying to find ways to stay relatively healthy as we have a hydration break. It would appear as well here in the 50th, but it's been a journey in that way, trying to find rhythm with some players, in and out, limited minutes. But this is a team that's done a great job of bouncing back.
And it gives other players opportunities to step up and get better and show the coach what they can do, and that gives Coach Pizengrilli more opportunities as she looks to figure out what lineups are going to work best, and she gets a chance to see some other players out there in the heat of game action, and figures out how can I use them moving forward.
That's say fear the spear. Muskego Warriors, that sign.
That's that school spirit you're talking about.
It's a good one.
As opposed to fear the deer.
So Muskego going for that 4-peat, but Madison West going to play comeback and bring home their 6th title, first since 2012. They've been runner-up twice. 1995 to Homestead, and 2016 their last state appearance. Lost 1-0 against the DSHA Dashers. Making sure you're staying hydrated over there. I'm worried about you.
I'm trying. I need some of that cream soda, I think.
Oh,
the energy.
Throw it out a day like today.
Okay.
Over for the Regents comes Gabi Ratana, marked up on by Sadie Middlestat. And a throw coming up here for the Regents, so it was an injury/hydration break. As again, right now, Elsie Watson was getting some medical attention.
She walked off under her own power. It didn't seem like she was limping or anything, so I'm hoping that means she's okay. It just felt weird.
Abby Artlip. And now with Ella Canzora sliding over for Madison West, Shiloh Ozan. We have a handball here in the 51st.
Here's where the Madison West Regents need to be careful. They can't afford to go down 2-0 to Muskego. With the way Muskego defends, Madison West has got to be really careful.
See right now, Watson looking on. Also staying hydrated.
There's no
umbrella chair back there.
No ice, no wrap, so that's a good sign.
Across the way, they also have the mist machine. Sometimes you see it on the football sidelines.
I'm surprised they don't have one up here for us in the booth.
We'll work on that.
Yeah.
Got 3 more games.
Okay. We'll talk if we make it that long.
Krupa try to come back to your side with Artlip. And the thing, too, it's only going to get warmer.
We didn't need to know that.
So Krupa and windier.
That'll take. That wind feels good.
Krupa. That's knocked out of play. Getting a touch to Ari Kotny. Artlip throwing. 4 goals, 6 assists on her stat line coming into this state tournament. Off the turn there with Sadie Middlestat. Left there by Clara Mensch, who has put the Warriors on the board, scoring in the 45th minute. Also of note so far in this game, a yellow card was issued back to the 25th. They went against Autumn Dibb. Maurer.
I think if you're Muskego.
An opportunity for now was on that right side after Sadie Middlestat on the windup for the Warriors.
I think if you're Muskego, you really want to think, not that you want to stop attacking, but you really got to think about taking your time and being patient. Especially on a day like today, make Madison West, make them defend you, make them defend you, make them defend you. Just sap their energy. You want to keep attacking and keep moving forward, but Use the width of the field. Make them come after you. Run those distances to get there.
Dib back into the Warriors lineup. Had it right back across midfield off the right knee of Ari Kotny. Augustine. Cut inward, now going back to the outside with Artlip. Had it taken away by Saffron Zahorik Schultz. Will send it ahead. And that connection disrupted. We're going to go downfield with a different look now with Charlotte Sussman. Out there scoring jersey number 21 has come through with 5 goals out of the year. Now stoppage here as we have a yellow card about to be handed out, and that's going to be given here to Mia Ozan in the 54.
Ozan was just hanging on to the jersey, wouldn't let it go. She knew she was beat.
Ozan being replaced here by Ada Nicole-Lecoq. The free kick could appear for Maurer. This portion of the 2025 WIAA Girls Soccer Championships is brought to you by the Wisconsin DOT. Augustine. Nice job there by Ratana. Will stand her ground. Will take it the other way for Madison West. Ratana. Augustine will get back. Here come the rest of the Warriors. They came out to play. Now Augustine right back to top the 18 on this near side. This near side again for the Regents with Ari Kotny. Where they get back in a hurry too after lots of open turf for Ratana.
Unfortunately, Ratana, really nice play. Just didn't have anybody to lay the ball out in the space ahead of.
Furnow. Sent away by Shiloh Ozan. A couple of changes coming for the Regions, and happy to see when those changes come. Elsie Watson will be subbing back in after the injury scare. And same thing with Mia Ozan for picking up a yellow.
That's where Charlotte Sussman just couldn't get herself back into the play. She was deep enough that she just was not able to get into that space behind the defense. Well, now Watson's back in and Sussman's out.
So Madison West trying to overcome a 1-goal deficit here in the 55th. This team with 13 returners. 7 new players. Of the starters, only 1 new to the team. 5 or 6 were not starters last year. But the Regions last year, 14-2-1. Ended up losing in a sectional semifinal against Wanakee, 1-0. In fact, victims in the sectional semis each last few seasons. I mentioned they were in the sectional final round for the first time this year since 2021. But again, already up to 16 wins, surpassing the last 2 years in which they had 14 wins each, had 13 wins in 2022, so certainly something that's been building. And a great job here by Coach Pizengrilli to help this team get over that hump and get here to the Uihlein Soccer Park yet again. Artlip.
I'm wondering if we're going to look back. There's that cross across the box again.
Mensch on the pass. Sadie Middlestead to the outside Furnow. Just Iverson.
Nice job by Iverson not allowing that cross. That's going to be crucial for Madison West moving forward. I wonder if we're going to look back on that where Ratana had that breakaway on the right side. Her starting striker, Elsie Watson, is on the bench because of that injury. Would that have played out differently? I think that was a big point in this game. Would that have played out differently if Watson had been in it?
Zahorik Schultz.
There's Ratana.
Cross there with Mon.
Ratana again, nice back header.
Gonna look at Elsie Watson back in following the injury scare earlier in this second half. It's gonna take a lot to, again, keep her off the field. One of these 7 seniors playing in her final high school game regardless of the outcome. Break now for Abby Artlip. And be replaced in the lineup by Riley Krupa and for Coach Matthews. Look at the state history for Mensch. Okay, coming through with the lone goal so far. This one of the 45th. Mensch came through with the game winner in the championship in 2024. Going back even further, had an assist in the semis back in 2022 as a freshman against a peer. Had a goal in the 2023 semis against Bayport. Every year has had at least a point here at the state tournament.
Well, she's proven to be a big game player. She's there. Obviously a solid player throughout the season, but when the lights are shining brightest, she has come through.
All-state selection following that 2024 season. Sent upfield by Dibb. Iverson will deflect out. And we're throwing here for Dibb. Right now, Mensch, her goal, the difference in this championship matchup, being her 7th on the year. And looking to deliver the game winner for the Warriors in the championship game for a 2nd consecutive season.
She scores when it matters most.
Set up for Elsa Maurer.
Maurer's had a bunch of these free kicks. They haven't really done anything with them. That wind may be playing a part of that, but now she's got the wind at her back. See if she can deliver to the back post.
Picked away by Zahoric Schultz. Augustine. Tussle there for a second with Mon. Scharer. Upfield again from Maurer. Mensch.
And those turnovers in the midfield, that's where Madison West needs to really take advantage of those and look for that quick strike. Find that quick diagonal down the field. Really stretch Muskego's defense.
And Scaife seemed to knock that a play by Shiloh Ozane. So both teams take this opportunity to make a change. Sammy Eichhorn out of the field for Madison West. There's the change. And for Muskego, a break now for Ratana. So Bella Middlestat back onto the field for the Warriors. I'm going to bring something up about Bella in a second. I think Muskego does a great job. They celebrate their seniors, 8 of them. Leading up to Senior Day, they put out these infographics about each player, promoting various things about their soccer careers, other oddity facts about them. I mentioned Bella Middlestat at Minnesota State, but one of the unique facts about her that I found very unique is back when she was 10, according to this infograph, went to Mexico for her birthday. Got stung in the face by a jellyfish.
Oh, yay.
That's something you don't forget.
Definitely.
At 10 years old.
That's why Matt always described it. If you sit on your couch and watch TV, that kind of stuff doesn't happen to you. It's dangerous out there.
Play it safe.
It's dangerous out there. Wow.
Oh, but I thought it was very unique. And so, a lot of teams around the state find ways to go about promoting their senior class in the various sports. But love the little oddball facts. Gives them
That's awesome.
more personality. You look at a player like Jess Furnow. She mentioned that her left ear is smaller than her right ear, so her family calls her Nemo. Just keep swimming.
Oh, my. Not sure if we should use that on the broadcast or not.
She put it on the infograph.
She would appreciate that. But we talked about team culture and program building and things like that. And so what you're talking about for Muskego, doing that, really celebrating those seniors and the work and the sacrifice and the effort and everything they have put in for their teammates. It's a super neat thing.
I'm not even going to ask how you take care of a jellyfish sting in the face.
I'll look up.
So we have a throw-in coming up here in the 62nd minute.
I'll check WebMD right now.
Yes, please.
See if we can get an answer.
Furnow get back there with Addie Iverson. Coming across for the Regents. Outfield with McNamer. Gonna knock it away, did Sammy Eichhorn. Slip and slide. And there's Jeff Furnow. Free kicking up for Madison West, put back into play quickly by Mia Ozan.
I wonder if for Bella's 11th birthday, they decided to tone it down a little bit. Maybe not Mexico.
Well, stout made here by Savannah Middlestat. As Madison West quickly getting downfield, going to put some pressure on. But look at it one more time as Mon. Middlestat able to hang on despite some pressure coming out from Ada Medical-Lecoq.
Nice shot by Mon. That's what we're talking about. Sort of that quick transition. She blasted it. Middlestat did a nice job not coughing up a rebound or anything like that. But that is what the Regents have to do, is look for that quick strike. Be willing. They've shown a willingness to take that shot from 18 out. They've got to keep doing that.
Furnow. As Middlestat to her left, knocked away instead by Iverson. On the takeaway from Madison West. Sends it to Mon. You have Medical-Lecoq in the box. Mon jumping out defensively. Sauer. Going over again for the Warriors. Kanzora. And a corner kick here for the Regents, showing life here in the 64th.
That's why that quick counterattack is so important for Madison West, because then you get those Muskego defenders tracking back, sprinting back towards their goal. And it's tough when that cross comes across to how do you steer the ball out away from your goal when you're sprinting at your goal. So if they can keep that up, they might get some mistakes from this Muskego defense.
Kat Arnold. Looking for that bend. Flies over the head of Mia Ozan. So a couple of corner kicks now for Madison West. And both teams will make their way toward their respective sideline for a hydration break here in the 65th. So a one-goal lead. That for the Muskego Warriors being a goal that was scored by Clara Mensch in the 45th. That right now is your difference in this D1 championship matchup. As the Regents going alive here over the last couple of minutes and putting more pressure on Savannah Middlestat and the Warriors. Break here. The 2025 WIAA Girls Soccer Championships are brought to you statewide in part by the Wisconsin Department of Transportation, Rural Mutual Insurance Company, premiums paid here, stay here, and Menards. Save big money at Menards. Happy to see all the fans got the heads up, the extreme heat warning. They brought the hats, in some cases the sunglasses.
Hopefully the sunscreen.
The strong stuff.
Yeah. Well, you usually use 100, right? It's working.
I usually burn.
It's working. No, that last cross is a perfect example. Teams needing to adjust to the wind. You got the big wind at your back. Kat Arnold for Madison West.
See, that's the way to do it. He's got the umbrella on the side. The one that's just left having a little more difficulty hanging on.
Looked like that one was about to blow away.
Wow. Hang on tight, and there you go. That thing on?
But we got to talk to our producers, see if we can get one of those in our booth here.
Wow.
Because I know he's sitting in an air-conditioned truck right now.
There you go.
But that last cross, Matt, was a perfect example of you got a big wind. You got Kat Arnold for the Madison West Regents. Taking that cross, it's got a big leg. You got to know it's going to go deep to that back post. You got to have people there.
We'll be seeing sights like that all day long. And we're going to see many fans finding unique ways to stay cool. I know some have been using the fat heads as instead of showing the fat head, they have it above their head and use that as a cover.
Surprised I haven't seen any Matt Menzel fat heads out there, because I know they sell them at the concession stand.
Sad thing is, it's actual size.
Nobody's buying them.
The Warriors bringing their team tent.
I think they've been discontinued, actually.
Blew away. Did you see the goal kick? They followed the turn there for Madison West with Ada Minicola-Coke. Abby Artlip.
Nice ball by Artlip into space.
Here's Bella Middlestad. Taking in, going out, getting around Ozan. On the centering feed. Artlip had it blocked off the backside of Zahoric Schultz.
Great idea by Middlestad. If that ball is just a little bit out in front of Artlip, she's got a one-time shot on goal. Instead, it was a little bit behind her, so she had to turn and fire, and that gave the defense for Madison West a chance to react, recover, and deflect that shot.
Back for the Warriors, Elsa Maurer. Long run made here by Ada Minicola-Coke.
Nice shot by Elsa Maurer. She's been all over the field in the attacking third, the defending third, and all throughout the middle.
On that far side with Autumn Dibb. Another change coming up here for Muskego. Again, they're trying to make history. They're trying to get that four-peat. And join the likes of Brookfield Central. Won 4 consecutive D1 state championships from 2002 through 2005 under Brian Yenner. Catholic Memorial winning 6 consecutive under Hall of Fame coach John Burke from 2012 through 2017. When they won 3 consecutive, they accomplished that feat last June, becoming the 6th to 3-peat, and the first since the 6-peat by Catholic Memorial. Artlip. Now turned around there against the Zahoric Schultz. Whistle for the Madison West foul.
That's what Madison West has to be careful of, is they're looking to push. They got to make sure that Muskego doesn't counterattack them. And now we've got a set play. I'm assuming Maurer will take this again in a very dangerous spot.
Three-player wall that includes Elsie Watson. Tap back, Furnow. Angles it wide. Off the pass that came from Mensch.
Looked like that went off the post, Matt. I mean, it looked like it was going wide, but that was a little closer than we thought.
Now the outside portion, you'll see it here. After Arnold came out, so that ricochet.
Did hit the post.
Now the outside portion.
It was close to being that second goal. Nice shot.
Augustine. Watson trying to get back up, but Augustine stays with it. Artlip.
And here's smart by Artlip, playing the ball back. Making Madison West come out, cover ground, defend. All smart plays by the Muskego Warriors.
Going to be a throw in here for Madison West. This portion of the 2025 WIAA Girls Soccer Championships is brought to you by Rural Mutual Insurance.
Let's go wide.
Bella Middlestad. Going across, but Artlip was down atop the box. Nobody there on the receiving end. Lambeck.
Nice idea by Middlestad. Warriors have been doing that all day.
Ball came flying down the field. Yaman on the attacking end for Madison West. Takeaway here after Ellie McNeighbor goes down for the Regents.
Notice McNeighbor went down and then just got right back up, got right back into the play. Especially on a day like today with this heat. Pretty impressive.
Ada Minicola-Coke. She goes down, draws the foul. They're slow and getting back up here in the 69th. Shots have been hard to come by. Not only in the second half, but overall for this matchup. Shots were at 5-4. Right now in favor of Muskego. 2-1 Warriors in this second half. We've had way more fouls than shots. 9-6 Madison West. Each team with a yellow card. Each team with a couple of corner kicks. Cat Arnold, UW lacrosse bound. Putting this one back into play, giving it quite the ride. Right there in front. Middlestate with a back pedal. Right there in front was Mia Ozan. Middlestate got a piece of it in a corner kick here for the Regents.
Well, I didn't think that was going to be dangerous at all, but it turned out the wind got a hold of it, and that's a tough bounce right there. It looked like it was going over the top anyway.
I think it's one of those in between. You don't take that chance.
Yep, Middlestate's got to parry it over the top. You can't risk it.
Corner kick 3 for the Regents. Kat Arnold, who just took that previous free kick.
This ball by Arnold, I'm not sure it's what she had in mind. Hoping to get her teammates on the end of it, but...
If Watson in front, Middlestate will down cleanly. Inside of 10 minutes left here in this second half. Our first of 4 here on Championship Saturday. Division 4 coming up at approximately 1:30, a matchup between Cedar Valley High. That's Ozaki, Randall Lake, their co-op taking on the Xavier Hawks. Want to do something that has not been done. That's win a state championship in a third different division.
That's right. Division 2, Division 3, and now trying for a Division 4 championship.
Boy, hang on tight. Umbrellas everywhere in the stands. Starting to go flying. Is that wind really starting to pick up? There's that 40-plus mile-an-hour gust that they were predicting.
Waiting for one of those tents to go.
Those have been bolted down.
Well, if you're Madison West, you really got to start thinking. Now's the time you got to push. Got 10 minutes left.
Clara Mensch getting back for the Warriors.
And if you're Muskego, these last 10 minutes, take your time. There's no need to rush. Get the ball down. You're ever in any danger, just clear the ball out. Make the Regents go back and chase it and bring it forward again. You're just looking to milk that clock.
So to the near side for Muskego comes Bree Scaife, and again, look at that flag. Below that flag used to be an umbrella. That umbrella's no longer there.
It's gone. Lake Michigan, possibly. If you're Muskego, retaining possession is huge. You don't want to give Madison West those opportunities for that counterattack.
Off the side of cleat of Ozan. Next one will go back with the outside, sent away by Autumn Dibb. That ball long gone for a throw in here for the Regents. Cotney. Again here with Mon. Off the right cleat was Zahoric Schultz. That flies out of play.
That's where as you're coming onto that ball from distance, you always want to, you know, it's so tempting to look and see that top corner and go, that's what I'm aiming for. But then the ball always ends up going over the top. You got to stay over the top of the ball, aim low. The ball will rise. It'll go higher than you think. Like Jess Furnow did with her shot down on the other end. She stayed over the top of it, stayed low, skidded along the ground, and almost went in.
Here is Furnow. Ganson will back ahead for Bree Scaife.
Great idea, just hit it a little too hard. Scaife not able to get back on the end of it.
Turn right in to Kat Arnold. A throw in here for the Warriors again with Nora Augustine.
Furnow had the right idea. Scaife's making that good run, that give and go. Just weren't able to connect.
Had it right back out by Watson. Augustine. 74th minute. We saw a second ago a change with Art Lip in replacing Bella Middlestat in the Warriors 11. Going back, Elsa Maurer. Another long run here for Ada Minico-Lecoq. Not a strong pass, but Middlestat Savannah, that is the goalkeeper for the Warriors, able to adjust. But that got a lot closer than it needed to be with Ada Minico-Lecoq oncoming.
I was going to say, at that point in the game, I'd like to see her play it out to one of her fullbacks, just to be safe.
Off Iverson. But now shots were even at 5, 3-2. Madison West in shots on goal. Mon. Nice find. Watson. Watson gets a shot off and it goes in. Elsie Watson has tied the game in the 75th.
Just a little bit of a scramble. She uses the outside of her foot. Wind helps it a little bit. Pops it over the defender. Right there, Maurer intercepts. Just a lucky bounce. It pops right back to Watson after Watson stayed with it, and she actually passed it to herself.
Goal number 5 for Watson, her second year at the state tournament. She came up big a minute 13 after the Arrowhead Warhawks had taken a 3-2 lead in the semifinal on Thursday. Watson came back, tied the game back up at 3, now tied this game at 1. Just under 5.5 to go.
Well, it's that resiliency you were talking about. Staying with it. And there was that play early in the first half, when Watson went out. And the Regents had a break. And we wondered what would have been different if Watson had been in the game at that point. Well, now we know. And if you're Madison West, you look back and go, oh, if only. Well, they're going to see if they can do it again.
Shot number 6 for the Regents, 4th on goal, and again they find that grit and resiliency coming up big late, all even. There's something about being behind that brings out the best of Madison West.
Well, they've got a free kick here with the wind at their back. Here's an opportunity for them. I don't know if Kat Arnold's going to take this one or not, but if they can get people on the backside, the ball will be there. Arnold's shown she can put it there. You got yourself in a scramble situation again, where, as we just saw, anything can happen. The ball takes some crazy bounces.
Arnold, Middlestat, will keep it in front. Slowly back up with Ada Minico-Lecoq.
That's one of those things we always talk about. Always making sure you've got an attacker running across the front of the goalie. Even if you can't get it, if the ball's too high, just don't give the goalie a free look at it. And right there, it was too easy for Savannah Middlestat to just go up and get it.
Minico-Lecoq going down, takeaway here for the Warriors.
Nice shot by Maurer. Some renewed urgency on the part of the Regents here.
Bella Middlestat using the outside here against Shiloh Ozan.
Middlestat's been trouble over here. Ozan there. She's up to the task this time.
Right back to midfield. Augustine. Ozan. Again here with Minico-Lecoq.
That's where, if you're Augustine, you got to make sure you find a teammate. Don't just play a ball out that Madison West is going to get on the end of.
Hustle on this near side now from Ellie McNamer. Ball rolls out, and a goal kick here for the Warriors. So Mensch giving the Warriors a 1-goal lead back in the 45th. Now Elsie Watson at one point in this second half left with injury, able to bounce back and has tied the game in the 75th.
Well, lucky for Madison West, Watson was not hurt seriously and was able to get back into the game. Now they've been on the front foot the last 10-15 minutes. Muskego, we're going to see if they're resilient. Are they able to respond to adversity?
So a free kick here for Kat Arnold. As we near 2 minutes left here in half number 2. Going far side. And lifted by Cotney. Middlestat with it. Wingspan. He will reach over the top side and snatch it. And puts it back into play.
Nice decision by Savannah Middlestat to come out and go get that ball. Don't leave anything to chance. You go get it.
Approaching 90 seconds left here in regulation. Mon. Blocked.
Muskego hasn't been able to get out of their own end here.
Right now that wind, it was blowing straight across. Now it's kind of more on an angle and affecting the Warriors' ability to get down that field. And across again with McNamer. Augustine. Throwing here for the Regents. Both teams making a change. Throwing coming up here for Zahoric Schultz. The game's had 60 seconds left. So Sussman is back out there for the Regents. And back out for the Warriors, Josie Canzora. Staying here with Madison West. Zahoric Schultz. Sussman. Mia Ozan. Arnold taken down from behind. Ball was kicked away. Time still ticking. Free kick here for the Regents. Final 10 seconds. Arnold's got to hurry. You see the foul one more time. Back to live action. Off the free kick. Headed away. And this one is headed to overtime. This will be the 4th overtime game among the first 9 of the 42nd WIAA Girls Soccer State Tournament. 2 10-minute overtime periods coming up. There is no such thing as a golden goal. We keep playing 2 10-minute periods. If the game is still tied after the 2 10-minute overtime periods, a 5-round shootout.
Well, we wondered if Madison West had any resiliency left, and certainly they did. And I noticed right at the end of the game there, Coach Pisangrilli took out 2 of her important players, Elsie Watson and Ada Lecoq.
Well, stay tuned. Overtime is coming up. It's 1-1. Muskego and Madison West. Now a message from your local station. This is your WIAA network affiliate. Back in Milwaukee, a 1-1 score. It is Madison West and Muskego for a Division I Golden Ball. The Warriors able to set the tone by scoring in the 45th. Clara Mensch, but Madison West, as we saw on Thursday, resilient, finding a way down the stretch. In the 75th, it was Elsie Watson providing the equalizer.
The Regents got a fortuitous bounce. The ball got stolen. Watson was able to get a foot back on it, popped it through to herself, and was able to pop it over Savannah Middlestat in goal. That resilience came through. Now we'll see. As we've been saying all day, it's hot. What is that going to mean for these 2 10-minute overtime periods? I noticed for Madison West, Coach Pisangrilli took off Elsie Watson and also Ada Lecoq. And just to give them a little, like with a minute left, just to give them a little more downtime, knowing it almost seemed like she was playing for overtime there, knowing that she needed them to be fresh going into these 2 overtimes. So give them a little bit more of a break, a little more hydration, so they're ready to go, because they're vitally important for Madison West's success here in these overtime periods.
5th time a Division I championship game has gone to overtime. First time since 2015. That D1 championship would see DC Everest outlast Kettle Moraine 1-0 in the 2 overtimes. Before 2015, there had not been a D1 championship game to go to OT since 2007. That's the way Championship Saturday gets started. And again, Madison West is in this position on Thursday. And both teams scoring in that overtime, in which again Madison West overcame a 3-2 deficit against Arrowhead. Certainly a rare spot to be in for the Muskego Warriors.
And I'm wondering if that's going to make a difference here in these overtime periods now that Madison West is in their second consecutive overtime game. If they're finally going to deal with some fatigue moving forward. I think if you're Muskego, you got to be pretty mad at yourself that you controlled isn't the right word, but you had the better run of play throughout the both halves, and you let Madison West back into it, and now you're basically back at 0. We'll see how Madison West or Muskego responds to the comeback by Madison West.
Shots are at 6-5 in favor of Madison West. 4-2 Regents in shots on goal. 3-2 Madison West in corner kicks. 1 save so far for Ada Lambeck, and 3 saves for Savannah Middlestadt.
I think if you're Muskego, that would be a concerning thing that they've only made Ada Lambeck, the goalie for Madison West, make 1 save. They really have not challenged her. And so I think if you're Muskego, you got to really think about, we need to make their goalie work. And they just haven't done that throughout the game, even though they've had a better run of it the whole time.
Yellow card against the Warriors. Autumn Dibb back in the 25th minute, and a yellow card that was issued to Mia Ozan of Madison West in the 54th. The first 10-minute overtime underway here in Milwaukee. D1 golden ball on the line. Again, the Warriors looking for the 4-peat. Madison West with their 6th state title, first in 13 years.
Well, 27 seconds in, the Regents look pretty energetic. That was a nice combination. Had the diagonal ball through on the run, and a couple inches off. They would have had an attacker right on the end of that in a dangerous position.
Cotney off the right cleat there with Mott. Using the outside with Sadie Middlestadt. Get on that far side for Madison West. Had Addie Iverson. Jess Furnow. It's a shot off, but in a tough angle to work with, trying to shoot around Zahoric Schultz.
I think if you're Muskego, you want to get Jess Furnow just like this. Put her in positions where she's one-on-one with the defender and can attack them. If they can do that a few more times here, I have a feeling they'll have some positive results.
Acklin outside with Artlip. She goes down, able to draw the foul against Madison West. 10 fouls against the Regents, 9 against the Warriors. On the ball here in the 82nd, soon to be 83rd minutes. Good. And trying to get a left knee on it was Autumn Dibb. This will come the other way as Dibb going down for the Warriors.
It's hard to tell what happened there. You knew Maurer had put the ball long. It's a nice ball.
Got a handball there against Dibb.
Nice shot by Ratana, getting into that space. Beating Autumn Dibb to that ball.
As the Regents sending it downfield for Elsie Watson. Going to be a throw in here for Madison West.
And again,
Zahoric Schultz.
Even those free kicks with the wind at your back, you want to, if you put it up in the air, it's going to go, but it's also going to give the time and the time for the goalkeeper and the defender to react. You still want to hit it on that line head high, so it doesn't give the defense much of a chance to react to it.
Get turned around. You have Sadie Middlestat leaving it back. Mensch. And put to the outside by Artlip, but it bounces away from Krupa. What effort there by Coach Matthews. Making sure that ball didn't skip by the team bench area. I don't feel like you would have made that play.
The full layout, no way.
Not on a day like today or any day.
No. My advanced age, that's for younger people.
I'm even thinking in your prime. Just let it go.
No need to get hurt. It's not worth it.
Artlip. Outside there with Mon. Mon. After the rollout, that's the result in a corner kick. And over for the Regions will come Kat Arnold. And their play is picked up.
It looks like it is definitely picked up. It looks like our wind is picked up a little bit too, and it's changed directions. It almost looks like it's going from the corner where this kick is happening to the opposite corner. So sort of, it's not crossfield anymore. So it's definitely sort of into the face of Madison West.
Over the reach of Middlestat. And a clearance for the Warriors. Augustine.
Savannah Middlestat got lucky there. She came out, didn't quite punch it. She sort of waved at it and missed it. She got lucky. Nobody from Madison West got on the end of that.
Got plenty of backup. Right now a breather for Ada Minicolt-Lecoq, but she's getting ready to sub back in. Next stoppage for Madison West. Flies by Jess Furnow.
Great idea trying to get Jess Furnow out on that wing. Play it out there, let her run onto it, and work one-on-one.
Shots have been hard to come by, but when we look at the breakdown of the 6 shots taken by Madison West, 3 belong to Kat Arnold, at 4 Muskego of their 6 shots.
Again, when is that fatigue going to set in? And sometimes that's all it takes. It's just don't have the energy to take that extra step after that. Whatever it happens to be, it can make all the difference.
Fly Muskego. Augustine. Iverson. That's going to roll out of play again with Watson on that far side for Madison West. Look there at Elsie Watson. She's the reason this game in overtime able to come through in a big way in the 75th. A clean takeaway played upfield, and Watson trying to use the outside. And kick back upfield by Elsa Maurer. Over again with Shiloh Ozan. Down the outside with Kat Arnold. Regents out of the midfield, taking a couple of steps back. Ada Minicolt-Lecoq. Iverson. Now thrown in here for Madison West here in the 88th minute. Stoppage here for a second as one of the Team cameras over there, back there. Down it went. Not a good day for that either.
No.
The team film.
That'd be an interesting watch. That's what we're talking about. They've definitely had the most energy. Little cutback right there.
Mon trying to cross it for McNamer.
Nice idea.
Augustine. Hard collision. Shiloh Ozan there for Madison West. Whistle for the foul here in the 89th.
Little obstruction. That play, Lukaku was coming. She could just dropped it right to her. She was coming hard. She would have had a direct one-time opportunity.
Off of Maurer. Gonna put out of the air. Right there from Mensch. Colliding. Down went Arnold. And a yellow card being handed here to Clara Mensch. That's the second against the Warriors in this championship game.
She knew it too. She was already running off the field before the referee took the card out of his pocket.
Put back into play by Mia Ozan. Instead of 60 seconds left here in this first overtime. And then again, a mini break here after. Before the second 10 minutes. Furnow. Nice move toward left. Will fire. And come up just short.
Nice job by Bella Middlestad. One-on-one, getting into some space. Played it out to Jess Furnow. I think she's going to be the answer. They can look for Jess Furnow, give her opportunities on goal. Something good's going to happen.
Good shot, Jess. Keep fighting. Let's go.
Zahoric Schultz. Again, there for the Warriors, Autumn did. Final seconds ticking away here in this first 10-minute overtime. We saw in this overtime shots at 2-0 Warriors. So a break here. After 90, we'll come back with the final 10 to see if we have an outcome or if a shootout becomes a necessity. A D1 champion to be crowned here on Championship Saturday. It's WIA. Still tied at 1 through 90 here at the Uihlein Soccer Park in Milwaukee, kicking off the Championship Saturday of the 42nd WIAA Girls Soccer State Tournament. One of the tent, trying to find ways to stay cool. Whether it be staying hydrated, cool towel. You have the certainly the mist machine back there that is in full force. They have it on super mode. Any way you can to get out of that sun for a little bit of time before the final 10 minutes will be played, and if we're still tied, then on to a shootout.
Madison West, the Regents, they had the most energy in that first overtime period. Actually seemed the most dangerous for the Muskego Warriors. Finding number 9, Jess Furnow, looks like it's going to be the answer for them. Again, that fatigue, we're waiting.
Updated temperature right now is 92 degrees. It feels like 94. That wind at about 34 miles per hour.
I was just going to ask, I wonder what the temp on the field is actually. We should get one of our crack staff down there. Take a temp measurement down on the turf.
Just have the little temperature thing, go to it every now and then and get updates. No, it is only going to get warmer as we get Championship Saturday started with more to come. Division 4 is next. It says approximately 1:30, but that will be pushed back. We have Cedar Valley High, that being Ozaki Random Lake, second-year co-op at state first time as a co-op, taking on the top seed in Division 4 with the Xavier Hawks. They have won Division 2 and Division 3 state championships in the past, but now looking to take care of business in Division 4. And coming up even later on, Battle of the Crusaders, Catholic Memorial, Edgewood. They've played each other in the past for a golden ball, and will do so again here in 2025 in Division 3. Nightcap, Milwaukee, Brookfield Central. You know, you look at Muskego fits in this category. 16 teams qualified for state, 6 out of Waukesha County.
That's just crazy that's the way it works. We talked about Muskego being undefeated, and that's awesome, but yet there's a pressure that comes with that, and now you find yourself in a game. You know, they've had sort of an easy playoff experience so far, and now facing some adversity here, and you've got that added pressure of undefeated, you know, going for the four-peat, all those extra things. Madison West isn't playing with that kind of pressure, and they can play freer. So it's going to be interesting to see how the Muskego Warriors deal with that pressure.
So underway here in the second 10-minute overtime. All even at a goal apiece. Again, just joining us, Muskego looking for the four-peat, looking to become the third girls soccer program to accomplish that feat. Madison West, they have their sets, their eyes set on pulling off an upset, if you will, and bringing home their 6th state title and their 1st since 2012.
If you're Muskego, you want to make sure you get in front of that ball. Don't let Madison West get moving forward at pace, because they had that energy in the first overtime, and if you let them run and get out into space with that ball, Muskego could find themselves in trouble.
Mensch. And outside you have Josie Canzora. This ball's going to skip and roll out of play.
Looks like the Regents have dropped Elsie Watson a little bit behind that forward line, and they've got Ada Minikel-Lecoq up front. Looking to see if she had a little extended break there after regulation, at the end of regulation into overtime. She didn't come in until 5-10 minutes into that overtime, so she might have a little more energy. So they have her up top.
Well, we talked about it with Madison West just in this situation a couple of days ago. Not that it makes it any easier by any means on a hot day like today, that you can say you were in the same spot and used to what it takes to get through 100 minutes on a hot day here at the state soccer tournament. Certainly perhaps an advantage of just having been through that.
Yeah, you'd think the fatigue would set in, but they haven't shown any signs of that. They've been getting after it here in the overtimes.
Luxury here. Look out and find the top row of the stands.
And there you go. The Regents pressing hard. They get a turnover from Muskego, and here they are in the attacking third.
But you factor
another turnover
you have in D1, D4. This year, at least the way the format played out, is you had the day off in between. Makes a difference.
Yeah, it'll be curious. Those D2 and D3, how those, they give them the later time slots, so they've got a little more recovery time, but you still did play a serious, tough game yesterday.
Watson will get back into the mix off this corner kick for Madison West to be taken by Kat Arnold.
Now going into the win, I'd like to see her drive it low, about a head high, see if she can get one of her teammates on the end of it.
Watson camped down in front for the Regents. Middlestat again. She has timed her jump on a couple of occasions on some of these set pieces perfectly to reach over the top side and come up with the ball intact.
That's why those high floaters, they're easy for that goalie to come out, and she's one of the tallest ones out there. She just comes out, grabs it.
Zahoric Schultz off the left cleat. Knocked out of there by Maurer. A run made by Ellie McNamer.
That's what I'm talking about. Madison West, they've been on that front foot, and they keep attacking. They're coming full speed with the ball at their feet right at that Muskego defense. They've proven to be very dangerous that way. So Muskego needs to stop that ball. Stop that attacking with pace.
Another corner here for Madison West. Over for the Regions again will come Kat Arnold. This will be corner kick number 6 for the Regions. Comes here in the 95th.
Well, we talked about the importance for Madison West of being opportunistic. They've certainly had opportunities here in this championship game to take this lead.
Off that right cleat. Right there in front, Ratana.
That was definitely a better ball from Kat Arnold. A little more driven. Didn't give Middlestad a chance to come out for it. And Ratana gets on the end of it. Just a little too high for her. But that's the kind of ball. That was an excellent ball by Kat Arnold.
Leads to a goal kick here for Savannah Middlestad.
If she would have been able to get up over the top of it, she could have put it in the bottom corner of the net.
Watson trying to locate it. Using this outside. Got away. Throwing coming up for Muskego. About 4.5 to go here in this second 10-minute overtime. If we're still tied. Onto a shootout. We've had a couple of those already over the first couple of days.
Just seems, Matt, in this overtime, this second overtime period, along with the first, Madison West is just the first every 50-50 ball.
Mon. Back out with Bella Middlestad. Got deflected off the backside of Shiloh Ozan. Furnow. Dib. Here's Augustine against Iverson at midfield. Makes the turn. They will leave it off. And right back into the mix came Ratana to take it away for Madison West.
Got to play it faster. Got to keep it moving. Madison West has that energy right now. They're attacking everything, offensively, defensively.
Gonna slowly roll out for Iverson. Back of field, you have Mon. Also off field right now is Ada Medical-Lecoq. As Mon slowed up, comes right to the feet of Kat Arnold. The back for Watson here in the 97th. Elsie Watson. Good takeaway for Riley Krupa. Down goes Augustine. Sent right back toward midfield, picked off again.
Just seems we have some tired legs for Muskego.
Mon gives it a ride right to Savannah Middlestad.
Just the passes aren't quite where they need to be. Just a little slow reacting, especially defensively. West has shown they're willing to shoot from 25-30 out.
Ratana against Furnow. The pass away, but gave it right back to Dib. We'll stay here at the Regents. 98th minute.
Like to see Dib hang on to that. No need to just blast it up. There's nobody around her. Possess that ball.
Both teams hoping to make changes soon with Ari Cotney coming in for Madison West. Here come those changes with Bree Skate in for the Warriors. So Bella Middlestad out for Muskego. Out for the Regents, Ellie McNamer. The throw from Zahorik Schultz. Right back out. Under 2 minutes to go. Zahorik Schultz. Downfield here for Madison West. Off of Mensch. Who has since picked up a yellow card and scoring the first and only goal so far for the Warriors. Dib. Whoa. So Dib right there battling to the end line. That would Nola Mon.
Well, the Regents get a corner kick out of it. It's a nice clear, looked a little dangerous potentially, but nice clear, but it's corner.
Being set up here by Kat Arnold with Less than 60 seconds to go.
Because that wind is coming at her from across the field. Just got to keep it down.
Watson in front. Flies off the top of that north goal.
There's an opportunity right there.
Middlestat.
Seems like right now Muskego is just hanging on. It's been Madison West that has been pressing everything.
And it's out of 20 seconds left here in this second overtime. Only one other Division I game in the history of girls state soccer has been decided in a shootout. That was way back in 2006.
Which is hard to imagine.
Yeah. But this one is going to go that route as well. So the only other Division I championship game that was decided in a shootout was back in 2006. Middleton outlasted Homestead 5-3. Homestead not real happy about the outcome of that shootout. Middleton, Ken Berge said, well, if you don't like it, you can come back and beat us next year. They did. And then Homestead went on to win the championship over De Pere in 2007.
There you go. Revenge.
But here we go for stat-keeping purposes. A tie for Muskego, so their unbeaten streak is at 44 going into next season. This is a tie, regardless of the shootout. So Muskego at 20-0-3. Madison West at 16-2-4 with back-to-back shootouts here at state tournaments.
That's so hard. I know it's a tie, but if you lose the shootout, it never feels that way, right? That you played even with a really good team, and you lose the shootout, it just feels like a loss, no matter what.
Madison, they have a chance to win a state championship with state.
Yep. Well, they've been resilient. They fought back in each game.
So again, this goes down as a tie for stat-keeping purposes, and then now the shootout determine who's bringing home the golden ball. I remember too, we talk about that memory of Middleton and Homestead from back in 2006, and again, that was maybe the big thing too. And I remember Homestead's argument was, we didn't lose. We lost in a shootout technically, but we didn't lose. Well, if you don't like it, you can come back and beat us next year.
Exactly. Yeah. It's not good. If you're on the winning end, it doesn't matter how it happened. You got the gold ball. So.
Again, both of these teams do what they can to stay hydrated, stay cool, get out of the sun for a little bit of time. Another long day on the field for Madison West after their game lasted 3 hours and 20 minutes on Thursday, but that also included a 48-minute weather delay.
I'm wondering if Muskego got any insight from that penalty kick shootout that Madison West was in their semifinal. If they watched, if you get any, do any scouting and get any insights into where certain players from Madison West really like to put that ball.
We've had 2 shootouts already. You look, and there have been, again, 2 shootouts here at state thus far. You had the 3-3 tie in double overtime, but Madison West 6-5 shootout win in 7 rounds. The other, we had Ozaki Random Lake against Washburn. Washburn, their first state appearance, 1-1 tie in the 2 overtimes, and then a 7-6 Ozaki Random Lake shootout win in 8 rounds. So a couple of lengthier shootouts already here at the state tournament this spring.
And our goalies haven't handled the ball a whole lot today, so it's going to be interesting to see now that they're in shot-saving mode, have to be in shot-saving mode for this penalty kick shootout. They haven't handled a whole lot of stuff.
No, just one save so far for Lambeck. Lambeck, who's been on the team since her freshman year, but she has battled through multiple knee surgeries. This is actually her first full season. Couldn't even play the first few games, but she's been able to play and she's made some big saves, but only 1 save so far in this one, 4 saves. That for Savannah Middlestat.
I think that's a key stat, Matt, if when Muskego looks back on this game, if they're not able to prevail here in the shootout, look back at that they only forced 1 save from Ada Lambeck of Madison West. They just didn't challenge her enough. They certainly had opportunities. They just didn't put anything on frame.
So both teams starting to make their way toward midfield. Can it come down to this? The second D1 championship game ever decided in a shootout, the first since 2006. And again, it goes down as a tie. But now looking for a shootout outcome for a Division I Golden Ball. Waiting to see who gets the opportunity to shoot first. Every coach different. Do you go first? Do you let your opponent go first? Do you put the pressure on your opponent? Do you put the pressure on yourselves?
I'm always of the mind, I always like going first, if possible. I thought it always put the pressure on the other team, because they always have to answer. Somebody asked us before, Matt, about the golden goal, and we used to do that. And I don't know if that changes your strategy, if one goal wins it all, or now I know I've got 2 overtime periods, and no matter what happens, I'm curious how coaches feel about that. If that changes your strategy a whole lot or not, whether to go after it or not. Were you a fan of the golden goal?
Loved it.
There you go.
That also provided, from a broadcast standpoint, good calls, exciting calls.
Yeah, some exciting calls, and that's every play matters.
So some last minute instructions here with these respective goalkeepers. Savannah Middlestat, Ada Lambeck.
Kat Arnold out there, getting their crowd ramped up.
So waiting to see who shoots first. It looks like, how about this? It looks like it's going to be goalkeeper against goalkeeper to start things off. It's going to be Savannah Middlestat of Muskego shooting against Madison West, Ada Lambeck. That's one way to start a shootout. Goalkeeper against goalkeeper.
Well, she did have 1 goal this year, so she played the field a little bit.
Savannah Middlestat scores that goal for the Warriors.
I noticed in the program, Savannah Middlestat has double numbers. She's number 1 and number 26, so that means 26. Coach puts her out on the field sometimes.
Ada Minicola-Coke will shoot for Madison West. Here against Savannah Middlestat. Goes high. 1-0 Warriors after 1 round. Next shot for the Warriors for Elsa Maurer.
And that's exactly what I'm talking about, Matt, that extra pressure. If you have to answer, there's just a little added pressure. And so now Muskego finds themselves ahead on the front foot. And if they can make every single one of these, they're going to be in business.
So we're going to set up here for Elsa Maurer. Lambeck with the save. Stays 1-0 Warriors in round 2.
I'd like to see that again. Unfortunately for Elsa Maurer, who's played a good game, she just didn't get it wide enough. If you put it in that side netting, very few goalies are able to reach that. She put it towards the middle of the goal. Lambeck was able to make the easy save, actually.
Here's Nola Mon. Through 2 rounds, it stays 1-0 Warriors.
Well, that's what we said. That pressure, you got to answer. You got to answer. And they had the opportunity there. Mon was sort of hoping that Middlestat would dive, really move hard one way or the other, and she hung out in the middle. We always instructed our goalies to react to the kick, not to guess, not to dive. We're not at that professional level where you just sort of have to take your chances. You know, you have time to react at this level, oftentimes.
Jess Furnow. 2-0 Warriors. Round 3. Next up for Madison West, Mia Ozane.
Nice job by Jess Furnow. Wish she would have had more of those opportunities during the game. Madison West did a really nice job of shutting her down.
Goes high! And now the Warriors can take care of business here in round number 4. It is 2-0 Muskego through 3 rounds. Here comes Clara Mensch. Has the lone goal in this game. Had the game-winning goal in last year's Division I state championship win over Kimberly.
That's why I think going first is so important. Get out ahead. And if you wanted anybody on your team to come up, miss clutch, Clara Mensch.
Shootout. They have won the 2025 Division I state championship. Clara Mensch had a 3-0 shootout victory for the Muskego Warriors.
Well, we said she scores goals when it matters. Here it is again, a game winner.
Only 4 rounds needed. Savannah Middlestat, Jess Furnow, and Clara Mensch scoring goals in the shootout. It's a 1-1 tie, but a 3-0 shootout victory. And the Warriors, a 4-peat, just the 3rd school that has accomplished that feat, and the first since Catholic Memorial winning 6 consecutive state championships from 2012 through 2017, a fellow Classic 8 conference foe.
And Matt, you look at their roster and their lineup, and they got a ton of players coming back. Is there any chance we could be looking at a 5-peat? You know, that 6 seems like impossible, but now they've made it to 4. Why stop now? I think if you're Muskego, there's almost a relief, because it was certainly Madison West in those overtimes and the end of regulation that was the team with all the energy, and it looked like the Muskego Warriors were just hanging on by a thread, but they managed to hang in there and come through big time in the shootout.
Just incredible 44 match unbeaten streak for the Warriors. Winning a state championship in 2019, 2022, 2023, 2024, and now here in 2025. More to come here from Milwaukee. In Milwaukee, a victory by way of a shootout for the Muskego Warriors, a 1-1 draw, but able to win the shootout 3-0, being joined by the Warriors head coach Lance Matthews. A 4-peat for at Muskego. Coach, take us through just the ups and downs of this D1 championship matchup.
What an absolute battle. I mean, both sides of the ball, these girls just worked in this heat, and it took a lot of incredible love to grind this one out and make it happen. But just a lot of good energy from both sides of both fields, and they played their hearts out, everybody.
Yeah, take us through from a weather standpoint, how you guys were able to manage and navigate through this heat and this wind.
It's the amazing community that we have. We have community support. Our track team set us up with a tent. Our parents set us up with food and hydration, and just it takes a village to raise these great girls, and they just do such great work when it comes to the field.
Let me bring up too, Clara Mensch had the game-winning goal last year in the state championship game. Scored the lone goal in regulation, then the shootout kick that goes in that provides the winner. I mean, she's come up with some absolute humongous goals for Muskego over the last couple of years.
Yeah, talk about a girl that does it the right way. Just works so hard all year and treats everybody well, supports everybody. She's the heartbeat of the team and just so fun to be a part of it. So incredibly honored to coach her. She just works her butt off.
Let me wrap this up by asking you, I know last year the team went back and jumped in a pool to celebrate this championship. I'm guessing the pool's on the table again today?
Oh, always. Just one moment at a time and just soaking this all in. I'm just really, really proud of this team.
Well, Coach Matthews, thanks for your time and congrats on the shootout victory.
Thank you so much.
That is Lance Matthews as the Warriors, their 5th state championship overall. As we join the award ceremony already in progress, we turn it over to the PA announcer, Dan Pfeiffer.
Ariana Contney. Charlotte Sussman. And Gabby Ratana. Will Coach Sagan Pisangrilli please come forward to receive the trophy for the runner-up, Madison West Regents. Now we ask each player to come forward as their name is read to receive their individual medal from the 2025 WIAA Division I State Champion, Muskego Warriors. Lauren Schindler. Savannah Middlestedt. Abby Artlett. Elsa Maurer. Ella Canzora. Josie Canzora. Nina Hutchins. Riley Krupa. Bella Middlestedt. Jess Furnow. Elena Spader. Mia Bailey. Kelsey Morgan. Taylor Collins. Ashlyn Scharrer. Bree Skate. Clara Mensch. Autumn Dibb. Sadie Middlestedt. Olivia Rozeski. Reese Zamboris. Milena Vrankovic. Caitlin Ramdor. Nora Augustine. And Maddie Doherty. Will Coach Lance Matthews please come forward for the 4th straight time to receive the trophy for the Division I champion, Muskego Warriors.
So there you have it, the Muskego Warriors, your 2025 Division I Girls Soccer State Champions, a 4-peat for the Warriors and their 5th state championship overall. Now a message from our statewide sponsors. This is your WIAA network affiliates.